All right, well, tonight's Fable, we're gonna need a little bit of luck. So we're gonna go ahead and decide your character's luck, starting with you, Brandon.
Okay, let's see here. I should probably get my dice out. That'd be really good.
That's important. You gotta be ready.
Here we go. All the pink ones today. We're gonna go with 3.
All right, you get the campfire, which you get to add a little bit of a narrative element that you'd like to play with, or bring up some prior story that you'd like to further explore today. You can think about that, but tell us about your character. Describe them.
Today I will be playing Elarius of the Vulpes Argentum. Elarius is a fighter, prefers to stay back with his bow. And
what's one unique thing about Elarius?
Elarius is introspective, having been having existed for many centuries and having seen countries and nations rise and fall, having been in many wars, most recently with the Legion and various iterations thereof throughout his life. He is, as many of the Vulpes are, searching for his place in the new frontier and trying to reconcile the strange pull that he feels towards the desert, but in particular, the sunken castle.
Errol, go ahead. Which luck token will you have?
Right, this one.
All right, 1, 2. So you get
Toy soldier.
Toy soldier token for your which character tonight?
So I'm gonna start out with Hermann Rothe, as usual, the human, noble-born thief, but we may have a visit, depending on where we end up, from Jagged Edge.
Oh my goodness.
His lackey and the half-orc.
And what's one unique thing about Hermann Rothe?
About Hermann? Well, yeah, I don't know if this has come up recently, but he is noble-born, but did not grow up that way after his early, formative years. He struck out on his own, leaving his family behind and disappearing into the streets of the city to make it on his own. So he's got that element of survival, but he also, never forgot where he was born at the same time.
Sam, go ahead, roll evens, odds. Evens odds will determine your luck token. Evens, you get this pillar, which will tap into your character's position in the world, what their status is. So whenever you want to use that luck token, again, to reroll any die, you'll tap into. What characters are you playing today?
So I'm playing Togark, who's a goblin wizard. He grew up in a barbarian village, so he's a little rough around the edges. And not afraid to speak his mind.
Excellent. Yeah. All right, Nick, you get the coin of the future, hopeful future. For what character will you be playing tonight?
I'll be playing Miss Biggs, a small halfling thief with a scout background who's always on the look for money to make sure that everybody can have a good time.
Excellent. So we'll see the things Miss Biggs will be hopeful for. So with that, we guys had a little bit of a debate of what exactly you wanted to do, and you guys have been out and about engaging different aspects of the sunken castle and finding the bones and this sort of aspects of uncovery and discovery, and you have all decided to further explore out into the desert, the Balsalt Desert. So you can imagine the hot sun blaring down on the black sands with the cliffs and the hoodoo stacks that just go on for miles and miles. You've traveled and trekked across these plains in a number of different ways. The sands ever shifting and the rocks ever jutting. And ahead of you lies further desert. So have you guys decided where you wanted to travel from?
Why don't we throw the map up on screen?
Let's go.
I feel like we're traveling from the bones, right?
Yeah, so I think we were going to start from the bones, maybe, where the wyvern's nest was, and head out. We were thinking the glass.
Yeah.
What was it?
City of Glass?
Yeah. Let's see
Maybe
what
we can
see.
take a slightly longer route and pass through the steel lions.
Ooh.
This is all speculative, so who knows what exactly.
Where we were told that they are.
Right,
Yeah.
or where I interpreted that they are. So there's also the Saltstone Tower. We could sweep across. We could go tower, and then the lions, and then the city, and then there's Taptooth over here, which is apparently a pretty sizable city.
Oh, really?
Out here, yeah, or like a town.
I mean, I think that
The city of glass sounded a little bit more like a fortress of some kind. or
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a strange
I
location.
think that'll be easy to get back to whatever places to the far left. Like once we
On this side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Taptooth might be a little far given our provisioning.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think it might be easier to just try to like do this long path to the city of glass with how much rations we have,
Yeah.
and then we can all like because it's easy to get to the other place.
So going to Steel Lions, you're saying?
Yeah.
Directly?
So I'm saying go south from the bones and then
that
southeast.
Sweep across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's sweet.
Yeah. Okay.
And then depending on how we fare, perhaps we can hit some of those unexplored hexes on our return back
That'd be
Yeah.
to safety.
Yeah.
Something like
And sort of
that,
clear out that little patch of unexplored area.
Sure.
potentially.
All right.
Assuming we live at all.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, who knows what will happen here.
Let's make it that far.
All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll determine. Oh yeah, it's gonna be quite hot out there, and you will have. Luckily enough, it's actually very warm, so you guys are actually not gonna need an extra ration. If it's very hot, you would have to expend an extra ration, but we're not gonna deal with that. Luckily enough. So, which way are you heading? South.
South first.
Yep.
All right.
Are we doing one down and one
Yeah.
okay, towards the Steel Lions?
Yeah.
So we're basically
Agreed.
trying to hit right here onto the Steel Lions area. Okay.
Sure. Great.
So we can actually do 4 per day, correct? Or no?
Yep, you're gonna do 4 hexes per day.
Oh, nice.
Oh, then that's perfect. That'll get us straight to the city of glass, and we can hit the Still Lions.
cool.
Assuming no setbacks.
Yeah, assuming no setbacks.
So if it's 2 rations,
Trust.
that's 1 ration per day.
Yeah, I actually like 1 ration per hex, or like per 2 hexes.
Okay.
I just think you could travel through 4 hexes per day, but like you're gonna need more rations for traveling. I just think the way the maps are set up and the way the resources get expended, it's not as blistering of a desert as I'd like it to be.
Well, depends how you roll.
Sure, right.
It's been very hot plenty of times.
It's fair enough. Well, you just happen to have the luck of the warm weather today. Yes. You gotta have that weather character in Arventa, messaging you in.
Yeah, right.
Wally the weatherman.
It's a very mild 90 degrees out.
Yeah, exactly. We've all been feeling that
It's
nowadays.
a real life. Today is like slight break.
So if
from
we
the-
had the curse to have bad weather wherever you go, would it automatically be too hot, or would it start raining in the desert?
It
Because that's
would
pretty
probably
bad.
be bad in the desert direction as opposed to like rainy, stormy direction.
bad in a good direction.
Yeah, bad in the way we want it. And this is for the wind. And wow, wouldn't you know? You guys will be facing some sandstorms over
Oh,
the course of
classic.
it. Yeah, you saw another sandstorm last time and happened to just roll it this time. Jeez, snake eyes. All right, let's see what you can get to before the sandstorm gets here at the end of the day. So, who's navigating?
All right. So to check navigation.
I feel like
The scout?
Togark?
Yeah, I'm scout.
I did a pretty
Yeah,
good job
okay.
navigating
Yeah,
last
Togark
time.
took
That
us
was
through last
intelligence.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I will navigate with my big brain, my big goblin brain.
Okay.
All right. So
Do you still have the owl eyes too?
I took that ring off. Yeah, we're doing these, Nick. We're doing this.
Okay.
So we're just gonna eat the
4-ish.
rations now.
Yeah,
Okay. So we're just eating one.
your hardtack and your water as you're navigating these harsh desert sands. Togark is at the lead, this little goblin and he's right there.
Yeah.
So go ahead and let's see if you actually can successfully navigate. It's gonna be
17.
17. All right, so you're doing your best to guide and steer the troop there. And as you get to this, it's deserts and salt flats south of the bones. So you're starting to get actually hard, crusty, corroded, encrusted salts. What?
I wanted to forage.
All right, what did you get?
In the salt
14,
flats? You find salt.
yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, that's good because I'm sweating.
Yeah, you find a ration, of sorts. What do you think that would be in the salt flats?
Probably like maybe a dried up like
Like a jerky.
a salt toad.
Yeah, right?
Salt toad.
Are you licking salt toads out the salt flats?
Yeah, can I
Turns out
get a
you're
scout
licking
action?
toads.
Go for it.
Salt toad.
Herman, I'm not eating that toad.
8.
All right, so you're too enamored by the salt flats to have a positive scouting result. Yeah, we're gonna need a what did I say? For these, it's gonna be 12 or higher on these.
12.
Yeah.
Over, okay, jeez.
Yeah. So you're gonna go one is salt flats, and now you're kind of like tiptoeing out of the salt flats, and now we'll see. Okay, nothing happens in that hex.
Wait, what? We're here?
No, you went boop,
Oh yeah.
right? You're
Yeah,
going
yeah,
down
yeah,
and
yeah,
south.
yeah, sorry.
And as you crest through the salt flats, it starts becoming more deserts, and it's just more deserts as far as the eye can see. And you feel like you can make out something far to the east.
Far to the east.
Yeah.
Like another half day's walk to the east. One
it's
might
possible, or to the south or the southwest. You're out in the barren deserts, and as you navigate up to the peaks of some of these, crusty hills, you can make out that your directions are not marking anything of note, and nor did you find any points of interest.
Okay, and so is that like...
So we're here.
Yeah. Are you talking like east, like southeast, northeast? Kind of east.
Direct east.
So we could go over here with our last 2 moves of the day.
I'd rather go to just the City of Glass.
Yeah, but again, that's not guaranteed to be there.
Oh, well then I say let's move one more to like the northeast.
Okay.
Because we're gonna have to do that, and then let's see what we see.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll go here for now, and then scout.
And the storm will hit at the end of the day.
So we can still move our 2
2 hexes. At the end of those 2
Yeah,
hexes,
Just move 2 more then.
Yeah.
Let's
But I'm
move
saying
one
we don't
more
know if
and
we
then-
should.
Yeah, but I don't think he's letting us do that.
No, yeah, I gotta move 2 hexes. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So
All right, well...
if it's dead east that we see something, I say we go 2 hexes dead east.
Yeah, I agree with Herman.
Or we
Okay.
or we can go where I marked it, but that's not where
That's-
he's saying
yeah.
we're seeing anything. So
Okay.
he's saying if we got to move 2 here, I think
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Okay.
Or I mean, we can go to the west, but I don't know. Here,
Yeah, that's fine.
okay.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and see what pops up. Who's navigating? We're gonna have to navigate again.
I'll navigate
Oh, we
again.
navigate twice a day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
16.
Can I
Alright.
scout again?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
17.
Great. So you are actually adept at seeing what's coming. Should anything pop up,
I'll forage along the way.
you both guys gonna forage as well. Okay.
I'm gonna do a charisma check. So,
So
Herman starts-
March song.
yeah, Herman starts.
We can do this.
Yeah, after fighting the salt toad, he's like salty toads, the salty flats.
Let's
just
go,
starts,
guys.
Humming a song. And oh, look at that! So his incredibly charming song is just marching us along if we need it.
Yeah. All right. So in those 2 hexes, all right, you managed to navigate successfully. What are you foraging for?
Apparently nothing. I rolled a 6.
All right. So yeah, Elarius is too enamored by the singing of Herman to really pay attention to any decent food out there.
I saw a lizard, but then I heard the song, and the lizard scampered away.
Yeah, exactly. So as you are navigating, you see the storm coming, and you can see as you approach, in the distance, there are these giant baubles, like upside down beakers, large expanses of just like glass that seem to encompass walls, and like pauldrons, like castle pauldrons, but it's all this just shimmering, glinting, and it starts getting blacked out as the sandstorm is just encroaching.
So we are here. Where do we see this?
Yep, that's where you see it. You're approaching it.
Oh, okay, great. So we didn't even need my charismatic singing. I think we could just march straight into it and avoid the sand, hopefully.
Yeah, unfortunately, at that you notice, keeping it far away, there's like, I guess, a caravan of sorts that are blocking the entrance to the actual city itself, and they seem to be squabbling and warring, like a literal battle is going on between these people, as they are like people at arms, swords, pikes. They're fighting each other. People are like throwing stones at one another, and there's just a battle between these two folks, and they seem to be warring over stuff around their caravan. And the city just seems to hum with this sort of kind of, I don't want to say energy, it's just like activity that's happening that they're not even paying attention to this. Almost as if like, okay, this is typical.
2 groups in front of the gates to the city.
And the gates are shut.
Yeah.
Is it possible to like get around them, like sneak around them, like give them a wide berth and still make it to the gates? Or are they like right in front?
They're right in front of the gates there. Yeah.
Are there even guards like watching this from the walls?
Yeah. Yes, but they don't care.
They're just kind of watching. Okay, so these are 2 groups of caravans that are just kind of like clustered up.
Yeah, like they've banded the wagons and like they circled the wagons, and now they're just like
2
fighting.
circles.
Yeah, 2 small circles of 2 like very small wagons that are like at each other's throats, and it looks like they're trying to defend their goods while trying to take the other wagon's goods as well.
I smell opportunity.
Yeah, time to pick a side.
By wagons, I mean like these things are like, you know, something like some of them are sleds, some of them are like camels that are pulling, you know, like
Which
like,
group seems like they're winning?
They look even keeled.
Oh.
Which group seems like they have more expensive stuff?
You can't tell what types of stuff that they have.
Proposition. Let's take a closer look and just see how it plays out.
Sure.
See how the herd maybe thins itself.
Yeah.
wanna
Can
kinda,
we
like,
try to
sit
get
down.
close enough to gather information, like over here? Maybe try to figure out what it is they're fighting about.
Sure. Yeah. Who's doing what?
I want to try to get closer without being perceived.
Yeah. Also,
Okay.
Herman's gonna sneak as well. Maybe to the other group.
Yeah. Maybe we each sneak to one group.
Kind of split.
I'll
Yeah.
stay further back. Let them scout it out.
Elarius will knock an arrow and stay with Togark.
Okay, so let's see how close you can get. Give me a dex check on that. And you're sneaking with him as well?
Well, separate sides.
Okay.
Yeah. But we're both sneaking.
You guys can get advantage on this. Oh wow. 2 19s.
I mean, I guess I'll go for the 20.
Yeah, go for the 20.
22.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, so you guys proficiently managed to sneak around, you know, using some of the rocks and some of the sand dunes that are piling up, and they're like piling up the sides of the glass walls as well too. Like this city is literally licked and surrounded by sand, so the only ways through to this main gate is where these caravans are. And you happen to sneak around and you can see that they are a mix of sorts. One of these bandits camps, one of these caravans, they seem patchwork, like piecemeal. You know, one has like a giant shredded arm, but like it's on top of a little like cretinous creature's head with a leg that looks like it's like a chicken leg. It's like they are like piecemeal sort of
These are
creatures.
the actual people fighting?
That's one of the camps that you see, Herman.
Okay, I see.
They're,
These people that are like weird Frankenstein.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And I can't see the other one.
Right. Miss Biggs goes up to the other one, and you can see that they seem like regal, noble, like clean cut. They have like elegant silver swords, and they're bearing like symbols of a lion.
Silver swords, you said.
Lions, eh?
Yeah, Miss Biggs has a silvered longsword
Okay.
on them, actually.
But also, it sounds like a certain group we've heard about in the desert here.
Yeah.
Right?
So I think Miss Biggs wants to further approach their group, try to find somebody in charge.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Just going for it.
Yeah, just going for it. Just absolutely going
So
for
they
it.
got swords. What do these guys have on Herman's side?
Piecemeal of all sorts of stuff. Slings, like I said, and just like mishmash, like pikes, but like made out of like jagged sticks, and you know, so it was like bronze and stone, and just like
What kind
a
of words are flying between these two groups?
cusses and yeah.
Dirty dog.
Yeah, like,
Scurry scum.
right, like
I'm not Dirty Dan.
we need more. You know, we're trying to get folks. Blah, 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 we're get them back to the hideout. Blah, like we're trying to recruit more, and other of them are just like, this city doesn't want to trade with you. You know, like we're bringing our goods here. Just they're obviously way more. I don't say diplomatic, but way more clear cut. Like they're just very direct, where the other ones seem a little bit more haphazard and rambunctious in their efforts to force their will.
Okay.
Elarius is going to circle around to the side that Miss Biggs is approaching.
Okay.
And I'll go on Herman's side.
Yeah, and you can see Miss Biggs actually revealing herself, wielding a sword. What do you do? What does Miss Biggs do?
I think Miss Biggs is walking without too much of a plan, and is just what's basically just gonna ask what's going on, are you the Steel Lions?
You can see that there's a robed figure, and it's almost like fine material, and they seem to be in command of the rest of their, small sect of people that are holding down what camels they have, what riding animals that they use, and they're protecting their goods very well. And they see this small little figure approach them, and he turns and just sort of are you trying to gain entry to the city?
Yes, but more importantly, me and my companions were looking for someone to return the sword to, and we'll pull out the silvered longsword and say, I found this in my adventures.
And you can see this man's eyes light up. What are you doing? And he kind of almost kneels a little bit and calls to his men. There's a fallen blade that does not bear the arm of one of our men, and the other people are all of a sudden are tripped up as they look and start seeing this silver blade get revealed, and you can tell immediately it makes them unbalanced, where you can obviously see that your side is recognizes that and is going to take advantage of it.
So what's Elarius doing in all this?
Elarius is just sort of approaching as, Miss Biggs is having this conversation. He is a healthy distance back, arrow knocked, just observing this interaction.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember. And Togark's approaching.
I'm near you.
Yeah,
Just kind of walking up. So we haven't been noticed necessarily.
No, they're taking advantage of this opportunity to launch a very precise attack. Now that all of these men are
Right.
distracted, they've just taken their eyes off the ball. They've just all of a sudden broken rank, or just taken a breath that is not what this little skirmish calls for. They were totally fine just deflecting rocks and keeping people at bay,
Sure.
and now it's
So I think I'm
unbalanced.
gonna actually at the same time as this, they start kind of noticing this. Hey, what's going on over here?
to your guys.
Yeah, can we get in the city? So I'm just gonna kind of intervene, not intervene, but hey, kind of playing the Hermann clumsy
Sure.
guy act.
Okay, yeah.
I say, well, what's going on here?
We're gonna use a reaction check here with your charisma modifier to see how they react. So I'm gonna roll 2d6 plus your
Okay.
charisma modifier. You don't need to roll anything. Yep.
That's not a check. Okay.
Oh my goodness. All right, so you got an 11 plus your charisma modifier.
4.
So super friendly. Their reaction is super friendly. So hey, come on, take advantage of this. Look at these guys. They're finally we can finally pierce them.
Why are you fighting? Why?
Oh, those Steel Lions over there, they think they always have the best on us. Come on, let's take them out. You can join us, and we'll give you a cut of their wagons. What do you say?
Well, I mean, who are you guys? What do you have a name? Where are you guys from?
We're outside the city. We're from outside the city. We're from a small band in the mountains. But come on, are you with us or not? We need to go attack these guys. Before you know it, they're gonna regain their balance, and you can see that they're bubbling with thought and activity. The way they act is so piecemeal. It's they're a figure, an arm spasming, a leg's moving, and they're just so reactionary in the way they act that they're totally focused on trying to attack this other caravan of folks.
Herman, I don't want to side with these guys. They're gross.
Hold on, I need to find out who's in charge. Well, you must have a
Hey,
leader.
what are you talking about? You're pointing at this little
Listen to
goblin.
him. He's an ass.
He looks like one.
Well, he's a goblin, really, but
Not at all.
He's got some goblin on him. He points. It's you don't notice any goblin at all.
maybe inside.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what's on the inside that counts. So, do you have a leader? Do you have someone we can talk to figure out what's going on? I mean, no
Yeah.
offense, but to go into battle, I have to know who I'm dealing with.
Yeah, who made you freaks?
You need to know that we're a bunch of tribes. It's a bunch of different people, factions and groups of us that live in the mountains.
The Blood Rocks?
That's one of us.
Do you associate with the Razgodai?
What do you know about them?
Not enough. And I don't like what I do know.
All right, we're on the same page. Meanwhile, over here, you can see that this figure is collecting his men, and they just have totally like ignored the caravan, and they just start surrounding you, and you know you hear the hushed voices, and it's just very calm, cool, you know, like silky steel sliding through the river, just flowing. It sounds so smooth to you, the way they like come over and just like a different tongue, a different language, and they just are admiring the sword that like you hold out, but at the same time, you can see in their eyes, it looks like they're looking for blood, but they're giving you the opportunity of the doubt.
Like looking for blood, like at me?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you doing with this sword?
Right now, I think this Biggs has just like taken it, like, you know, and is holding it out, like was going to offer it to this person in charge. Like, I found this, and I was made aware that it belongs to you. But also,
We cannot carry that. It must come back to our camp where it belongs. Where is the fallen soldier that held this blade?
there was no soldier, just a.
Again, they all.
Just a.
And you know, like a bolt comes, you know, like a sling comes from either side, hits some of them, and they're now like taking damage from the opposing wagon, but they just
Are there
ignoring
any
it.
that are like close, like ish?
Of these guys?
No, of the people that are attacking them.
In time, they could be close enough.
Like if they get closer and they're still distracted, like they were trying to sneak up.
So not now. No, there's none close by.
Yeah, no. So I'm not saying in this moment, but if they come closer, like someone as big as keeping an eye on this, wants to essentially try to prove themselves to these steel lions. So if like one of them kind of wanders close, trying to like sneak attack a little bit early, Miss Biggs wants to basically sneak attack them in response, like try to attack them, like dash through this crowd and strike down anybody who comes
With what?
with the silvered sword.
Okay.
With the
so-
silvered longsword.
Okay, Elarius.
Point of inquiry. Of the two respective groups, how many individuals are we talking on each side?
It's like 8 and 8.
It's like 8 and 8, all right.
So we would make the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, it doesn't look like this is just me. It doesn't look like we can get them to agree. So
Probably
either way,
not,
we're
yeah.
taking out one group.
Well, you guys are not with these guys.
I know. I'm just
so-
talking,
yeah.
like thinking out loud.
Right, just
but,
to put
yeah.
an emphasis on that.
Right. Well, that's actually one thing I was gonna say to Togark. Any thoughts or any impulses?
Come on, now's our opportunity. Look at them. There, something's going on over there. We've been waiting all day for this. We don't got much time. The storm's coming in.
Can I see them?
Yeah, you can see figures like on the other side of like, wagons.
But can I
and
tell that like they're like kneeling in front of the sword at all? In front of Miss Biggs holding the sword?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
it's too far away. Yes, you can see it, but so what?
Okay. But my point to that is like it seems like they might be having a slightly better time over there. I think we should go join our friends and pick that side to side with.
But we don't have to join him to do that.
What do you mean? These guys are like deliberating, right?
So we could kill these guys.
Whichever guys were killing somebody.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Herman's gonna say, "Yes, I left my arrows back there, but I'll be right there." So I'm gonna turn back to the dunes and let them go on ahead, or I'm just gonna kind of hang back.
So you can immediately see that the caravans all of a sudden, like burst open with just goods everywhere. Like stuff just falls apart with the wagon. There's just bottles that shatter and, rope that unfurls, and whatever they were holding in there all of a sudden just becomes this huge mess of stuff, and it smoke and gas is leaking out. It looks very dangerous.
Oh wow! Like it could potentially be volatile.
Possibly.
Wow, that looks really volatile.
And the guy you're talking to is like, we gotta help. You gotta help with this, otherwise no one's leaving this place.
I think I could leave. I think I might be leaving. I don't know what you
I
guys
say,
are doing.
let me help, and I cast magic missile at the volatile caravan.
All right,
You,
roll
like,
for
right
it.
next to it.
You guys are pretty close, yeah. Roll for that.
It'll be fine.
What are you guys doing over here?
I'm still,
Oh, yeah.
waiting to see if.
Someone's coming close,
That's not good.
but they are paying attention to all of this as it's unfolding.
Yeah. So if somebody comes close enough that I can
Yeah, now would be the time.
then Miss Biggs is going to use their stealthy to turn invisible,
Okay, nice.
and then basically sneak up behind this person and attack them.
Sure. What's going on over here with your magic missile?
So I failed my magic missile.
Okay.
But I'm
we'll
gonna
get back to
use-
that. Okay, go for it. Go for it. You do that. You're gonna reuse that?
I'm going to use my lucky token because I understand how dire the situation is.
Okay, so tell us
Meanwhile,
about
Hermann is
Togark's
getting the fuck out of here. We all are like,
jumping out of the way, like
back to the
Clunk of the bat.
back to Elarius.
He doesn't have that.
basically. Yeah, no, it's gone.
Where'd it go?
you got stolen. Yeah, long story. Long story. Okay, so go ahead. Tell us about Togark's position in the world. Like what is he in rank and file? What's his day to day? What's his
He's definitely a bit of a loner since his barbarian village was attacked and many of his people were slaughtered. So ever since that day, he's kind of wandered the sands. He's been to other locales within, the north. And now he finds himself just searching for purpose, and that's why he's joined up with this group.
Let's see if this is your purpose.
Do I get to roll with advantage because the spell
Did
has
you roll?
advantage?
Yeah, you
I
should.
rolled with advantage the first time.
Yeah.
But when I drop the lucky token, do I get 2 rolls or 1?
You will get 2.
Okay. All right. Well, that succeeds, so I don't need 2.
Okay.
Or you could roll crit.
You could.
That's true. I could crit on the wagon. You're right. Nope.
Nice. So you get your magic missile off. What's it look like?
What does it look like?
Yeah, describe this spell to me.
So it looks like a
See some magic.
blinding ball of light. It's almost too bright to look at.
Nice.
And it goes straight into the center of the caravan.
Great. Roll for damage. You with your silvered sword. You go. All of a sudden, this little too bright ball of light appears and distracts people enough where you can kind of go invisible and wink out of existence as you slink around to make your attack. Go ahead, Elarius.
Elarius is going to take a shot at the same Franken creature
Individual.
that Ms. Biggs attacked.
Does my invisibility give me advantage?
Yes, because they are unaware of you. Oh, from a 2 to a 20. All right, from a 2 to a 20. Okay, you roll for damage on that.
I got 1 damage.
You got 1 cute damage. Okay.
It's only D4. It's not plus anything.
No.
Only D4, yeah. Everything's dialed
Yeah,
down.
they nerfed it in this game.
Yeah.
Nerfed or made it all relative. Okay, so go ahead. You roll for damage, and this is crit damage.
Okay. How do I do that?
So you're gonna roll double the dice for the damage
Okay.
plus your sneak attack bonus.
Okay. So silvered longsword is what? Like a
D6
D6?
without looking up, but just
All right.
it
can I
feels
borrow
like a
another
D6.
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
That works. Okay, so this is my sword damage, 9. And then my backstab damage, I should probably write
longsword's a
down.
D8, by the way.
Is it?
Yes.
It's a short sword.
Is it?
I don't know. What'd you say?
I said longsword.
Oh, okay. I keep hearing short sword every time you
It is
say
the
that.
magical sword of variable length.
Well, it's a long sword in Miss Big's hands because
Yeah.
It's a switch.
It's all
longsword.
relative.
There's a button.
right. So it's 2d8 then.
Okay. Well, okay. So, but my backstab is D6s.
Oh, okay, fine.
And then so how many backstab dice do I have?
Oh no, it's weapon damage.
Yeah, so if it's a
Oh,
D8,
it's just the
plus
weapon.
D8.
So you're gonna do 1 weapon damage plus a 1 weapon damage because of the critical, plus a 1 weapon damage for the backstab, plus 1/2 level of weapon damage in backstab.
Okay, so it's 4d8
Right.
total. Oh, so the backstab is based off the weapon.
Correct.
Whoa, that's different.
Yeah.
All right. Then
Yeah.
yeah. Can I get more d8s?
Yeah, I got you.
I need a d8 from each of you. 4d8.
Well, we're gonna have it be players all D8s.
Oh, this one here.
Oh, hold on, I got a pink one. Yeah.
There we go.
I would know what
Okay, colored.
All right, so I got 8, 9, 12. 12. And then it's silvered. I don't know if that means +1 or anything. But...
As this creature hobbles over, it has like a little claw pincer and it's a little chicken beak head and like this whole thing, big fat dwarf legs, and it's like just this amalgamation of all these different things, and it looks like it's coming in for this attack towards this silver steel lions, caravan. And as it starts just climbing this wagon and it's looking in, it has this grin of just these chipped teeth. You just hear as this like silvered long sword just appear out of nowhere and just cut this thing right down in the torso, and it just peels open. You can see some of the stitch marks and stuff and some of the skin grafts that are all holding it together. Just unwrap this figure as it just falls over, and you can see that the figures that were blinded by the light and now all of a sudden see this figure appear with the silvered longsword, they just watch as you cut down this enemy right in front of them.
Miss Biggs flicks the longsword to clear some of the blood off of it and says, in the name of your fallen comrade, show me the courage of a lion and the sharpness of your steel.
And then like the magic missile strikes the caravan, like starts erupting this flame as it creates this sort of like fuse that's gonna blow the rest of this caravan in the next round as we circle back around. What happens as you see this figure get cut down?
Elarius sees the result of Miss Biggs' sneak attack and changes target to the next nearest Franken creature.
All right, roll for it.
Well, that still not going to do anything. That's a 10.
You hit.
Really? Mm-hmm. All right. Well then. Get it out early. That's going to be a 4.
So, lands inside of its little fat, calf leg, and just this thing's like squealing as it's like trying to hobble away from this caravan that's burning down. And these creatures, these Franken creatures, all of a sudden are like reacting to this, like they're caught off guard. And the steel lions, they see this figure flick the sword and call this phrase, this command out, and they're amazed and they're at awe. And they're like, you can see that their spirits are torn as they're distraught that you're using this sword, but you've used it in such a way that is like, this might be a steel lion. Like, what is going on? We haven't seen something like this before. What does Hermann do?
So we're not in an initiative.
Yeah, we're just going around now.
Okay. So it's gonna blow up next time it gets to you?
No, him.
Next time, so right now?
After your turn.
Okay. So as I'm running away, I look at the caravan. So it's coming, I see the thing hit, and I'm running basically towards the steel lions, kind of, back towards the road.
Mm-hmm.
Can I swipe anything?
Of course
out
you
the,
would. Yeah.
Out of the carriage that's like near the road?
Yeah, don't grab me and pull me away. Grab
You
some
did this to
loot.
yourself.
You deal with it.
See ya.
Just me turning the tide of battle and then getting abandoned by my friends.
Ooh, nice.
Should have came
Scoop?
So you did, yeah. As he runs away, you just hear, ooh, nice.
Where are you scooping this from? Not the other one that's lit, I guess.
Yeah, so
I thought you were like
it's-
scooping from the one that's lit.
Oh, sure. I mean,
No, I wouldn't want that at all. Otherwise, you're gonna be right there in the blast.
No. It's like I'm going towards the street, the main road, the center where the steel lines are. So I'm running back towards essentially, I guess, where Elarius is. And as I'm passing the caravan that's there, I'm kind of like, oh, I notice like a small box, like a little crate, egg crate kind of thing, and I grab that, and it has a few things in it.
Let's see if these the ones that are remaining try to swarm Togark, and with their fashioned weapons. You got a nice AC 10 here. Oh, 10s. let's see. We're gonna do some of these little
Hey, you have
Stabby
twice as many hit points
stabbies.
as me, so
4, 5, 6, 7 damage.
Ooh.
see that would have killed me.
And they just like thump up against you as they're like, you little, I never trust. I'm gonna use your arm as my little leg. Ah! And, you just- and they start like clawing and swiping and stabbing you. What do you do? This thing's gonna explode at the end of your
Herman, it
turn.
hurts. Come back.
Where's
Just
Caliban?
run, double move,
Misty step.
haul ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna haul ass
Oh,
out
you
of
got
there.
Misty Step?
Oh, I do have the wand of Misty Step.
Near
Yeah,
distance.
I'm gonna use.
That's not. But you can move double near by just
Yeah,
running. So
but I'm gonna use the. But I can move and do an action, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use the wand of Misty Step to move out of the cluster.
Yeah,
of,
you could double move. He's saying you could just move.
Oh, there's not like a penalty to run away if you're being attacked. Oh, okay.
No. So you, if you succeed at this, you would still move the same amount. Is what I'm saying.
All right, I'm just gonna normal.
Yeah, this could be
normally run
used
away
for
then.
like going distances
up.
that you
Yeah,
couldn't normally
yeah.
travel to.
Okay.
Like through a wall, if you can see through the
Yeah,
wall.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run away after Herman.
Okay.
You bastard!
Hey, I got some.
So these things stab up against you, and you like backpedaling, the sand's moving around. You can see this fuse is like burning down as all of a sudden the caravan just like in a small explosion shoots off like bottles of rockets, like a bottle rocket. These things like whiz up into the sky as this whole thing was filled with like strange components that seem to have created a deadly cocktail of crazy, volatile materials. As you, slink back away, some of the one that Elarius shot is blown to the side and just cindered and charred to death.
Miss Big still has the sword above their head as this explosion goes off.
Yeah, exactly. And see, there you are with the silvered sword. And what do you do now? You can see that the caravan on the opposite end of these Franken creatures are scattered. They start going off in different directions.
Is there any that are unaware of me?
Yeah. Now they are.
Then Miss Biggs is going to put down the sword, pull out the crossbow, and then take a shot at another one of the Franken creatures.
Okay.
Uh, 12.
Yeah, you land a hit.
Okay, and so that would be 3d6, 2, 5, 11.
And this thing slumps down dead, just with an arrow pierced, a bolt pierced right in his gut. You can see his guts just pouring out into the sands.
Damn, Miss Biggs.
This Biggs taking people out left and right. Hilarious. You can see the steel lions that Miss Biggs is engaged with has continued to see the onslaught of this little Miss Biggs.
Little
Right.
Miss Biggs.
Well, Elarius knocks another arrow and yells, "Steel and silver go hand in hand. I am Elarius of the Volpe Argentum. Come to battle with me," and looses an arrow at the Franken creatures. He's yelling this to the steel lions.
Yeah, roll for it.
Cool!
Crit!
Okay.
I feel
Nat
so
20.
bad.
So 7, so 9, 14.
Wow.
An arrow flies through, and these creatures are just so distraught. Their morale is crushed. They are completely on edge, and just one of them's like, "Come on, we gotta!" And you just pierce its skull as it falls and tumbles to the ground. And now their whole caravan is in disarray. As like the flames of the first one is now catching the other two carts that were next to it. As this whole thing is just starting to dissipate as other ones fall to the fire and the blast and the arrows. You pretty much have this battle under wraps as the steel lions have like stood their ground watching you guys on all directions, except for Hermann, who's running away with a football under his arm, just goods. And the chaos sort of subsues as you can just feel the like tension of, again, another sandstorm in the distance. Seems like it's a week of sandstorms, as you had one last week as well too. What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna just rejoin them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna rejoin them, clutching all my wounds.
Yeah, we don't have anything for the wounds, I think.
I actually have healing potions.
Well,
Huh?
multiple?
I have 2.
Jeez.
Okay.
Is there any sort of wreckage or refuse from that caravan that has scattered
Yes,
as
yeah.
part of this?
Mhm.
Anything worthwhile that we can observe?
Yeah, yeah. If you want, you can go through it all.
Miss Biggs, do you think any of your friends here have something that could help my wounds? Can you ask them for something?
I will ask. I will go to whatever like leader person I was talking
Yeah,
to
yeah,
before, and say, as I said, I wanted to return this to where it rightfully belonged. But also one of my friends was hurt. You don't have any way to help him, do you?
I blew up the caravan, wasn't that sweet?
Yes, it's this tall figure, taller than like anyone here. Even Elarius is a tall elf of sorts.
Yeah.
Twice the size.
It's like tall, like yeah, not twice the size, but like towering over you, and takes the robes off his head, and he just has these like intricate tattoos, and they're just like glowing in this like aquamarine blue, just yeah, and they just like go down the side of his body, and he just has like his hair just completely like tied back, and it's obviously equally as long as him. It almost goes down the back of his robe, and you can just catch traces of it coming out of like the back of part of his robe. The storm comes tonight. You'll bunk with us in our wagon. You, little one, and looking twice as tall as Miss Biggs. All of our lions are tall and strong, but you, little cub, you shall join us. The storm that rages is a bad omen where we are from. I am Prindas, and I grant you my name. My name does not travel far beyond our pack of lions, our den. Our den is one that is coveted. And to see you wield that blade wrecks my heart, but it is washed away as you have made do of our enemies. Those red rocks and the other factions that they ally themselves with in the mountains have caused us nothing but trouble. Thankfully, we have spent many times in the salt flats until we try to make our efforts here at Taptooth. We don't have much time.
Wait, this is Taptooth?
This is Taptooth.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
And he gathers you all around. You can see the other ones are like, they're hushed, like, hush, 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 hush. And, you know, they're like, you know, they obviously know what to do now that the battle subside, and you guys, you know, you mentioned it as you've been collecting what refuse of the treasure. There's also another, you know, 100 gold of goods as well, too, just scattered throughout. You are a little wild man, and for that, we ask that you keep your distance. But we recognize that sometimes a loose cannon can make for an exciting ship across the desert sands.
Thank you.
We understand you travel with these, and let me tell you, all of these other red rocks have caused nothing but trouble for those that they engage with. And to see you brave their efforts in such a capacity makes us recognize that not everyone in the desert is out for blood. And the caravans are like, you know, it's like 4 carts, but it's enough to make like a little box of protection. Shall we make camp inside our protection? Yeah. Taptooth has closed its doors as of late, and we do not know how long this storm will last, but we do not think this place will allow us egress anytime soon. So, what do you guys do?
Well, I guess Herb was just kind of like watching this all unfold.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't necessarily, you know, out for blood with the other guys, but he was just kind of watching from the sidelines, thinking about it all, just listening to this. Yeah, no real reaction as of yet. Maybe when we get back to him.
Hey, Herman, did you nick anything good off that caravan when you left me in the dust?
Well, 23 copper.
Nice.
Here you go for your efforts. So he just hands you these little copper coins.
Ding, 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 ding. Thanks.
Little goblin pocketing copper coins. What are you guys doing?
So Elarius is going to walk back over to Miss Biggs and very casually and nonchalantly hand them a gold crown. And then, considering the offer that was overheard from the perspective of camping with the Steel Lions, we'll give a quick salute to Prindas and say thank you for your hospitality. We would be honored to join noble warriors as yourselves. And then take purchase sitting down against one of the wagons, and we'll start to pour over some of the bad poetry that was recovered. Secretively, though. Elarius doesn't want anybody to know that he's enamored with this bad poetry.
It's quite telling. We'll explore that later.
I was gonna ask, Hermann might just say, where would you like me this evening? Where should I sleep?
You're asking Prindas.
Yeah, or whoever is like dealing with the organization.
You travel with this little cub?
I do.
It's up to little cub.
I don't need anywhere too in the way.
Why don't you sleep with? Cannot remember your name.
Togark?
Togark. There we go.
Nothing would please me more.
I'm sure.
So I don't know. Are we kind of like under one of the wagons, maybe?
Yeah, you're like not in like the complete safety or like the complete protection of the caravan. So yeah, like a little bit on the edge, on the outskirts of the actual wagons that have been, turned around. Again, not covered wagons like, Oregon Trail style. It's like,
Carts, horse carts.
Oh yeah, but like camels that like drag sleds. Like tarps that are like
Just
thrown
under
up.
the camel's ass.
Is anyone going to tend to my wounds, or am I going to bleed out in the sand?
How much life do you have?
3 hit points.
Yeah, you're very injured.
You're not gonna bleed out. But
Yeah.
So wait, but there was a question if the Steel Lions had any thing
Healing.
for healing.
We do not heal loose cannons that, despite helping us.
I'm going to use the Oris on that roll.
You want to use the Horus on this roll? Go ahead.
Fool, you kill us all.
Take it.
What did you roll?
I rolled a crit fail, now 1.
Oh, so that was a d20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. That's sorry, that's what I meant. Like a dice. Like a dice.
Way to get it out of me, though. No.
Percentile dice +2.
Come on, come on.
1.
Oh, 13.
But in this instance, as you have spent some time with the Oris in your travels across the desert, you saw there would be a moment in which someone was going to leave you high and dry, and you chose to bend the reality itself as another gem lights up and another gear turns within the depths of the Oris. And as you peer into it to gain this reality of support from the Steel Lions, you see a grave moment in your past in which Togark was completely wronged, like absolutely justified in their whatever they did, but the rest of the world just denied to refuse it. It did not acknowledge it, and it's been with you ever since. And holding this Oris and seeing the Steel Lions help you, you feel that the power within the Oris as it grows could right that wrong. So think about what that might be. Keep it to yourself. We'll talk about it later.
I do want to ask.
Yep.
We are gonna rest now, right?
It's, yeah, mm-hmm.
And when you rest, you get healed, don't you?
Yeah.
How much?
It's a full.
Oh.
But it's like, having the proper provisions to help that along too.
Sure.
So the Steel Lions have provided that. But if you guys, no, I could argue he would not have been healed if we rested just underneath a
lines.
Some caravans.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
So, okay. I would, if anybody has anything pre-resting, any business, but otherwise Herman has maybe something in mind. Okay, so I guess as everyone starts going off to rest and sleep and whatnot, and it's dark and the wind is blowing, but we're up against the walls, right? Kind of amidst the crates and whatever. And so, looking up at the wall, is there something where, with the advantage of the climbing boots, Herman would be able to climb up to the top of the wall?
In this caravan, or like you're talking outside?
The wall.
Oh, of Taptooth. Yeah. Yeah. What does the climbing boots do?
Just advantage to climbing.
Yeah, you would roll with normal
Okay.
because it is the glass walls.
Okay.
That would be at disadvantage, so it
No, I do have
nullifies
a
that.
grappling hook and rope.
If you want to try your best to arrange all of that, you'll have advantage climbing.
Okay.
But that is a potential in which something could go awry.
Sure. So I think while the storm is raging, Herman is awake and kind of watching the, I don't know, sleeping camp. I don't know if there's a fire or whatnot, but he's looking up. Does he get the sense that the guards have left their posts, or are they still there?
They're in constant rotation.
Okay.
Can I see
So
the
just
But if you want, you could time
patrolling.
it. But there's a potential they could come back.
While this is happening, would you say that the walls are less than a stride thick or more than a stride thick?
Elarius is very tall, so very long strides.
Yes.
So what's your question? Are they a
The
stride
glass
thick?
walls, are they a stride thick or less? Or are they more than a stride thick?
They are a stride thick.
All right.
Are you gonna tell any of us that you're doing this?
No, but Herman is standing by the wall. Well,
Okay.
kind of sitting,
So when it
looking
goes
up at the wall.
when it goes tits up, no one's
Well,
gonna
plausible
notice that
deniability,
you-
yeah.
Well, no one's gonna notice that you've been captured or something.
Ah.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of swinging the grappling hook. Anybody who's awake,
So the sandstorm. This is all in a sandstorm now, Mike.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
right.
this is tough shit going on now. Like,
sure.
again, this is season of storms apparently.
Right, but it does reduce visibility
It's true.
Yeah.
and sound ability.
So, Elarius is a little wise to Herman's MO here
Oh, rats.
and
So it is planning.
abandons his bad poetry, seeing that there's some infiltration type activities about to commence. Elarius would love to walk up to the edge of the wall, pull out his spy's quill,
What's the quill look like?
Oh, it's a long red rock feather. He thinks about it for a second, and
Is he
then
next to Herman, or is he like away?
yeah, next to Herman.
So
yeah.
are we kind of like giving each
We're,
other?
we're like,
Hey, you
glance.
see up there? I see up there.
Or is Elarius just kind of doing his thing?
no, Elarius is next to Herman.
Okay, so we're giving each other a little side eye,
We're-
kind of like silent.
Yeah. And Elarius says to Herman, "This is if I need to make a hasty exit, but I will take your rope if you're going in."
So Herman looks back at him,
Away.
looks up, and throws the grappling hook up to the top of the wall. So with that,
Go ahead, make a
what-
dex check.
What am I rolling here?
You're gonna make a
One or
dex
two?
check.
Advantage or normal?
This is for your grappling hook first.
Okay, so dex. So 14.
Okay.
Why are your
And then-
stats so juiced?
Yeah, I don't know. It's that free roll. So, then what?
Now you're gonna climb, right?
So does it?
Yeah. Oh. Let's see. Okay.
Does it hook on?
It seems it.
Okay.
I'm gonna study the rope while you go up.
Oh, okay, nice. All right, so just kind of like holding the end of it so it doesn't
Yep.
wobble. Okay.
So
Not watching this because I'm sleeping, but how tall are the walls? I'm curious.
they're double near. They're pretty tall.
Okay.
You'd have to double move up these
Yeah.
walls.
Okay.
Okay.
They're 20 hammers tall.
Yeah, exactly. So now with the rope and the climbing boots, is it just going to be normal climbing or?
We'll get back to that. What are you doing?
Great.
Me? I think I'm like, if they have some kind of campfire going or sitting around telling stories, Miss Biggs wants to sit with them. Like, doesn't necessarily love the little cub comment, but it's like, listen, we need someplace to sleep right now. And it's honestly like in their mind is like, I was just hoping to get some kind of reward for returning this sword to them. But it's like, I don't know if they're broke or what, because he hasn't taken it from me yet.
You're working an angle.
Yeah.
Right. I love it. I love it. So you can so let's set the scene here. You have this city of glass out there, just kind of as the storm rages, it just like creates like a hum of glass. That's just like like a jar, like a glass
like
of
a
water.
giant,
Yeah, but like the sand is causing this kind of sound in the city. And then outside the gates, you have this camel rods, like a tent. Like it's very piecemeal together. And within it, you have this Prindas character who's hunched, legs crossed, and what you would expect a campfire, but it's like he takes out almost like the aquamarine blue salts that he cracks over a small little pit. It's almost like a hollowed out can almost, and it just like glows, and it's warm and giving you light, but it's not fire by any sense of the means. And you just like covered by the sand, the tarp from the sandstorm, there with Miss Biggs and other of these steel lions who've kept their distance, but they're observing you, and they haven't really engaged with you. They're letting Prindas do most of the point of engagement, but he's been sharing things with you openly, like giving you all this insight into the steel lions and how they've come here to trade this strange material, Gruthil, this metal that they've been trying to get off the market. It's this horrible metal that they've been trying to buy up in mass, and they don't know where it's been coming from.
Is it like mithril, or is it?
No. It's actually a metal that is used in amplifying agony.
I say, if I come across any of it, then I'll be sure to send it your way. I'm also a bit of a trader myself. We come from an encampment far to the northwest, but are exploring, we're new and trying to figure out exactly what's out here. Maybe pulls out like their map and says, these are some things that some things we've heard about, some things we've not. Clearly some of our, maps were wrong. We thought that Taptooth would be so far to the east, but we thought this would be the city of glass, unless those are the same place.
Ah, yes. Taptooth is one that gets its name. Well, lost to time. Why we call it that, something that I am not privy to myself. Must be from some of the originators who call this the city of glass, and perhaps tapping their tooth is representative of that in a way. And we have come here to buy as much as we can buy. So if you happen to find all the Gruthil out there, I would love to see you carry it all, little one. For we have come here many times, and it has flooded the market. And we know that many folks use this terrible, horrible material for nefarious things. We steel lions have tried to bring us to a greater age, an age of steel, if you will. But we are just a small encampment out on the edges of the desert.
Miss Biggs says, I can carry more than you think. And has this giant cloak on, but will roll up one of the sleeves, and you actually see a very toned arm. Has a 14 strength. It's not your average rogue.
Damn. You are an impressive warrior every moment that you allow your prowess to be known. I have just seen many I've seen many faces fall out here, and we have tended to take our den and keep it very close-knit. We do not travel often, and when we do, it is with purpose.
Then do you know how I came to find this sword? Like what a Silver Lion would have been doing so far away?
Drawn by the allure of something far, perhaps one of our den members decided to search in the forest reaches of the desert, looking for Gruthil, looking for other connections to civilizations that have become fallen, or perhaps in order to spread the Steel Lion's royal mane as far and wide. Where did you say this? You got this?
I have been so many places. I actually don't even remember.
If I were to rip the fabric of the reality of the game and to pull aside. So Miss Biggs found this in the Lost Citadel.
Okay.
It was actually at the altar of the Onyx Minotaur, and it was one of those items that when you got, summoned the Onyx Minotaur to life once again. Fabric of reality.
There's a citadel far to the northwest, one that was bathed in the black stone of onyx, with the iconography of minotaurs, occupied by beastmen, is where I found this sword and a shield emblazoned with a lion on it, which I regrettably don't have with me.
This is quite fascinating. I would love to see that shield too, and I wonder the meaning and significance of each of those things. For the sword might be something that I have to recall. It could be part of a larger construction, something that can overcome different magics. We have to consult more of our wise ones back at our lion's den. But for now, we must make peace with our travels here. And you, Miss Biggs, is one that has caught us off guard. And he goes on to kind of illustrate how they've been traveling, and this moment outside Taptooth was unexpected. The city should have been open. Speaking of Taptooth being open, you guys are trying your best to climb the city walls.
Well, I also wanted to ask what Togark is doing. Just sleeping?
Yeah, resting.
Okay, so what is Togark dreaming about or thinking about in his little bed of
He's
sand?
dreaming about how much more comfortable he would be not in a sandstorm with his guts all over the ground.
You're pretty beat up.
Okay.
And he's also dreaming about what the inside of the city might look like, and who resides there, and what treasures might be within.
It's quite a large city, yeah. Or, you know, like it's like a city-state, if you will, and it has quite some size to it compared to everything you've seen to this point.
Maybe they have beer.
Well, that's also what Hermann is wondering, and why he's climbing up. So Elarius is holding the rope. Hermann seems to have gotten it onto the top here, so gonna start climbing up.
All right, roll it. Let's see.
So that's 16. Should I do advantage or no?
No advantage.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's 16.
Okay. Ooh, excellent. I love to see a random encounter. So you're climbing up, and Elarius, you're holding the rope at the end as well. And as you're climbing, Hermann, you can see that there's like a patrol that's coming along the way, and you know you're just about to breach it. You see these figures. They're just like armored. You know, they have, you know, city guards sort of look, but like even the tips of their spear look like glass as well too.
So okay, so am I like holding onto the edge or
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm looking for, and they'll see the hook over the side here.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Will they see me if I'm just kind of perched?
No.
Okay. Are there, so I'm looking also for like any kind of hook or, you know, loops or kind of jutting out bits on the wall. Or is it, like, what does it look like up here?
So no, you don't find anything of those sorts.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
all
like
flat.
It's all flat. Yeah, it's like well-made defense in a like very translucent glass material.
So
You're in quite the pickle.
yeah. So I'm gonna make a gesture down to Elarius, like guards, and
Got it.
does Elarius react to that?
Does Elarius see the guards at this stage?
As like you see him, like you can see that there's like it doesn't light him up, but there's like an indicator, like it seems to extend from his signs,
Interesting.
Oh,
That's sick.
like a laser, like a sort of.
He's marked his enemies.
yeah. Okay.
You can imagine like a colored rock. It's like in the sandstorm, and for some reason, like as he did that,
Interesting. But no, like, actual visual, like, I don't see
no.
the actual. Do I see Ms. Biggs or Togark right now?
yeah, you can see the camp over there, and you see Miss Biggs in deep conversation with Prindas. And yeah, Togark is underneath one of the wagons, like off to the side, not near this glowing aquamarine blue light heat source.
So yeah, I'm gesturing. Does Elarius have any immediate reaction, or just kind of like okay, or what? Any like feedback? So just to clarify,
Trying to get an answer out of you.
If I hold onto the wall and like loop the hook over like my shoulder,
Yeah,
I
that's
would
fine,
be-
yeah.
I would be hidden, just kind of like
Yeah,
holding
yeah,
on there.
yeah.
Okay,
You're gonna have to make strength check to hold yourself though.
okay. And they're gonna they're like passing each other like this. They're just passing on the wall. Okay, so I'll do that then. Strength check now.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, have to.
So yeah, you see me like
Understanding that there are guards coming, Elarius will sacrifice a ration, take his knocked arrow, and put a little slit in a gourd, tie it onto an arrow, and fire a whistling arrow in between these two to alert them.
oh, you're just telling them our plan now? All right.
Do I need to make a roll to do this, or?
You do it. So you fire this
And
whistling
Herman's
arrow.
Just sitting at the top of the wall like,
So
Okay.
you in the camp and Prindas and his men, this whistling arrow appears and they immediately like go to arms and
Miss Big says, calm. It is a message, one that I am familiar with, and looks up and is like, oh dear.
you just see the little wind blowing her escape.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Togark rolls
Elarius is
over,
like-
woken up by the arrow, and grabs it, says, "Thanks, Elarius. How'd you know I was hungry?" Starts to eat it.
Gnashing at the door.
And then he notices the situation.
Yeah, Larry
Stands
is
up.
over there.
Yeah.
You're gnawing on a gourd. You can see these two figures over, and does Prindas see this? Looks over. What is going on?
My friend wanted to figure out why the gates were closed for you and your compatriots.
You travel with these folk? You must travel very lightly, for these figures seem to be more trouble than potentially that they're worth. I admire the bravery, but we do not want to jeopardize our position with this city.
Wisdom chases all of us, and some of us are faster than others. And Miss Biggs, goes over to Larry and says,
Storms raging, sandstorm.
I think we just wanted to get a better look. But we find ourselves in a predicament. As per the usual.
Well, Elarius, if he falls, you're catching him.
What do you do?
So Featherfall is described as range self. I'm guessing I cannot use
Correct.
that in the scenario that he falls. Okay.
Can we lay out some kind of tarp in case he falls, like to try to catch him?
That is a plan. That is a potential idea. Yeah, especially with what they have here and remnants of the scrapped caravan.
Yeah.
5 seconds. 4 seconds. 2.
I don't have anything for the situation.
Roll a strength check. Ooh,
18.
strength 19. Roll a 19. -1. 18. Wow. Yeah, you're holding on.
So what do the guards do?
So the guards, and they just post.
Oh, they're just standing in front of me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know, like
That's so
surveying.
bad.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
Miss
I'm
Biggs is
standing
gonna
there.
grab the tarp and be like, "We gotta catch him." I don't know how long he's gonna hang on.
Okay. There's a tarp that's being drawn out, pulled together.
I'll
Togark.
help with the tarp.
Okay, gonna help with the tarp. Elarius, you're holding the rope.
He's not on the rope anymore, though, right? You're hanging on like a ledge.
I've got the rope over the hook over my thing, my shoulder, and yeah, I'm holding onto the ledge.
All right.
Yeah. So I still have the grappling hook. I didn't throw it down.
You're
but I'm,
right.
I'm like,
You're secure. Though.
yeah, I'm just like,
All right. But the hook is still on. The rope is still dangling.
yeah, the hook still exists.
All right. Hilarious is.
So wait, hold on. Actually, I'm sorry. I just stood there for my turn, but the guards are in front of me.
They're around, yeah.
Like, can
Okay,
I
but
shimmy
this-
sideways?
Nah, they're like in this area. They're like posted.
Oh, they're like around.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You can shimmy if you wanted, but it's not. It's probably gonna screw them up.
You guys are oh.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I mean that's something else that I was gonna say is how often do we feel like these guards move?
That yeah, he did some reconnaissance and like they're constantly on patrol. He timed it where they weren't there, and they've returned.
Random.
Yeah, but when's the next?
Yeah, you don't have it. It's not like clockwork or anything.
Okay.
Hilarious. Take the tarp in case he falls. I have an idea.
That's such a dangerous statement.
Keep both of his hands occupied. I'm just yelling down the wall secretly.
I trust you not to.
Occupy all of his limbs.
Elarius is going to throw his bow over his shoulder and climb the rope.
No, don't climb the rope. It's
No.
over my shoulder.
Oh, okay. No. Never mind. Make those. No, okay. I am not doing that.
No, I have the rope, but it's not on the wall. I'm just waiting for them to leave.
Yeah, he like
Okay.
disengaged the
Yeah.
the
No, I get it.
grappling
It's
hook,
Okay,
Yeah.
it's
so it wouldn't be
you're
like
right.
seen. Yeah.
I see what's going on. All
So
right.
Larry's thought about doing that, but didn't do it.
Yeah, then Elarius is just gonna keep an eye on these guards with his arrow knocked. They don't see anybody. They don't.
With this
notice.
sandstorm,
Describe this armor to me. What does Elarius see?
yeah, it's like banded mail of sorts, and it's intricately woven with like it seems like glass rings. I mean, you can't see that far, but it's like they have like shimmering like glass components to them, but it's mainly banded.
All right.
And like their helmets, they have like it's like long slick back helmets, and they have like air like glass, like it looks like melted glass, like if you were to blow a glass like a vase or something, all in the back of their heads.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna keep a watch in case they notice. If they seem to react in this next turn to anything, then that arrow's coming off at the guard.
Okay.
Hilarious, you nutcase, put the bow away. Come take the tarp. I'm gonna use magic to climb up the wall, and then I'll get him down.
What? No, I'm fine. I'm just like looking down at all this commotion, being like, what the fuck?
What's
Why?
Miss Biggs doing? Helping with the tarp and all of this?
So when it gets back to Herman, they have to make strength checks. Can I try to make it easier for Herman to make that strength check by firing a crossbow bolt into the air clothes to try to pin him to the wall?
Oh my goodness. that is quite the trick shot.
Hey,
That is very
put
bold.
one right
In a sandstorm, mind you.
Why is all this happening to
Put
me?
one
Yeah.
right under his butt so he can just sit on it.
Who are these people? Herman's done. He's going back to our vent after this. This is unbelievable. I'm fine, guys. Just shut up. Don't make them notice me.
Right, everyone's going crazy down there.
I'm just like, what's the luck?
Hang in there.
Start screaming
Literally.
and shooting things at me. Okay.
I'm just asking.
You could. Do you give up working on the tarp?
Yeah, please hold the tarp. Errol,
You're up there.
Yeah. Yeah, Herman's not communicating.
Wait, 20 feet? Yeah, all right. Well,
Double near.
yeah.
Double near.
Is it double near just far?
No, it's not.
Double near is like
It's not.
60.
Because far is as far as you can see.
Oh,
Yeah.
The
So it
studded,
could be double near, triple near, or whatever, you know.
Oy.
Just like near and then near again.
The studded climbing boots will grip anything. I just want to point that out. Will grip anything. It says it right there.
It says it.
They'll grip anything.
I hear you. That's why you get advantage.
So if I fall, I think I should be able to slow my fall at the very least.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
So right now,
horrible noise
right
you've
now
ever
it's just
heard.
right now it's just us two on the tarp.
I'm not on the tarp.
You're not on the tarp.
No, he's got the tarp.
You two
I
are.
am.
Is anyone going to help me? The tarp doesn't work with one
okay.
person.
I'm gonna help the tarp.
You originally started it.
Tarp is
You ever
fine.
see a single firefighter hold out a trampoline for someone to fall on? Like,
So
no,
what's
that's
that?
not how it goes.
Yeah,
I've seen that
Togark.
in
Yep,
cartoons.
we're gonna. Yep, we're pulling it together. And Togark is, looking at, observing all this whole situation, but he has kept his distance from all of this, and he's trying to see how it all resolves. Let's see how your strength holds out.
Not Togark, but the boss, right?
Prindas, what did I say?
Prindas.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Togark's helping with the
Okay.
the tarp. Prindas is.
So 12.
Ooh. Old Jello arms over here.
So what are the guards doing? They're just standing there?
You overhear them. You saw a pack. Word came in that there's a not a legion, a corp, a small band of ghouls that have been seen traversing around the sunken castle. They seem to be looking for something
A small band of ghouls.
that has left the sunken castle. Yep. Word came in from a recent Red Wyvern as it was delivering another shipment of Gruthiel back home.
What, these undead are the ghouls?
Yeah, it seems like there's a
okay.
small, band of ghouls that have left the castle and they've been scouring around the surrounding areas. And word has traveled, and word came in from a Red Wyvern when it came, and as delivered message as it was flying back to the ravines back up to the northwest. Seems like this is another junction point that some of those figures come in.
Okay. So Herman's listening, holding on. That's it.
Yeah, you
So are we all holding?
Yeah, I guess we're holding. Yeah.
Anybody have an issue with this?
I'm going to cast Magic Mist now.
That's what I thought was gonna happen.
Elarius is going to shoot an arrow, like double near, down along the wall
Okay.
to try and draw the guard's attention away from Herman.
okay.
Shoot it like,
They roll. I'll actually.
yeah. I guess it doesn't really matter which way, but like I'm picturing that if the gate is here,
Away from the gate.
so if the
Yeah.
gate's here, we're like here. That's what I'm picturing, at least, like to the left of the gate. So you're shooting it.
Further left, like away from the gate, away from you.
Okay. There's
away from
probably
us.
nobody over there though. There's probably a lot of guys at the gate, so that's just gonna spread them out more, I think. But I'm not sure. I don't really know.
Yeah, my goal is to just draw the two away from you that are right there.
Okay. All right.
And draw them
Rehook the thing.
away from the gate
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah. So you
Okay.
and you hear, in the storm, it flies away. You see these guards like, hear something over there? And he calls more people from the gate towards them, and two more guards come to where they are, and he sends them down to where you fired. What are you guys gonna do? He's gonna roll a disadvantage on this next one.
Who is he?
He's gonna roll on disadvantage on this next one. You get your strength check.
His arms are wiggling. Get ready to catch him.
Yep.
Okay, you guys ready?
All right.
12.
11,
11.
9.
Hermann loses his strength as he starts falling off the height of the wall, the glass wall. But yes, sure enough, your boots of climbing are slowly sliding down the wall. But he's coming down at a very sharp pace. Let's see, you guys both make strength checks. If you can both get 11 or higher.
That's a
I
1.
got 14.
You accept that? Unless you guys want to use one of your things.
What? Like, oh.
Herman, as he's falling down,
Remembering this childhood memory.
he's like, yeah, he remembers a childhood memory of his family's palace, essentially. You know, they had a large residence in the center of town. You could think of like an old, perhaps Italian palace, you know, like those families in Rome and Venice. So kind of something like that, of that nature, almost like a huge block in the center of the city. And he was escaping one night to try and get away from his domineering family and parents and everything. And as he was sneaking out, he had spotted some of the family's, staff out kind of on the street or below the window. And they, were talking. But he slipped and let out kind of a little sound, and they saw him about to fall, and they went to catch him.
You see the little kid at Herman, and then match cut to you like falling in. All right, go ahead. Let's
So he
re-roll
remembers
it.
that,
This moment. Let's see
escape.
if this is actually.
And somehow this fills Togark with more strength.
Yes, exactly. This is moment. Critical hit. 20 on the die.
God.
So-
So he just sees Herman and he's inspired to just.
He just pulls and gives it some extra tonic, and Herman's like, oh.
It's a trampoline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he trampolines back up and over.
Oh, that would be great, yeah.
Whoa! Okay, so Herman falls in the middle of this sandstorm down onto this tarp that Miss Biggs and Togark, the two smallest characters, holding this tarp, and they hold and stand their ground as they catch Herman. Ugh. And he is totally fine from the fall. It's with the boots on the wall, and everything has kept him at bay. But now you're at the base of this city of glass, and Prindas is like, he looks at you guys. I have underestimated the small folk for my whole life. And you all as a bunch are filled with such vigor. I wish it could be bottled up.
We are not mere cubs.
Hmm?
We are not just cubs.
Ah, you have warmed my heart. But he is definitely not a cub for sure. What do you guys do? You guys are at the base of this mountain, and Prindas is kind of calling you guys back in as you guys have settled in a moment, reconvening your efforts to try to penetrate this city. Did not go fortuitous. The storm hasn't been helping, and the guards seem to have been at the improper position for all this.
Hey, Herman. Pretty sure I just saved your life back there.
Yeah. I gave you that 23 copper earlier.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Were you hoping for something else?
Just remember that next time you leave me for dead.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. I'm sorry. I didn't tell you to cast any magic on the explosives, but
Yeah,
That's
but
fine.
if you had magic, you would have done it.
that's true. I wouldn't know the experience. So as they're talking, Herman also shares the intelligence he received from the guards. And asks Prindas, have you heard of this sunken castle to the west?
Oh, the sunken castle, my. We have not engaged such a place for Captain Skrikic is one that is not to be engaged with. His hatred and power has just been a sore spot. But if you left it to me, I would wager he yearns to feel an emotion like he hasn't felt in aeons. And if I had it, I would bring him something that could warm the depths of his hollow, rotting heart. And just maybe he would turn on his undead ruler that lives deep within the castle. We've only heard about rumors of this place, and we dare not go there. And we've only seen the from afar those folk that tire underneath the undead grip that controls the castle. But it has been far too long since we've even heard or thought about such a place. But
How do
Skrikic,
you know of the captain? Have you met him?
he has wandered around with his bands looking for, you name it, a new site, a new prospect, and we have engaged once in a bitter southern moon.
If you want something to warm his heart, is he considered vodka?
I have not even thought about such things. Maybe Taptooth has a more potent of substances, but we dare not engage with such things.
Would such a thing be a magical item, or do you think something a plain and simple human pleasure might remind him of past times?
You're gonna offer him drugs?
Could offer him a sandwich. Maybe that would be enough.
I cannot speak, but I could imagine if something were to warm his heart, he may feel something he hasn't felt in forever.
Speaking of the connection between these two places,
I love connection.
tell me what you know of these red wyverns. We understand that they transport this Gruthal into the walls of Taptooth.
Oh, they bring it around. They are one of the things that we have not been able to seize our hands around. They bring it mainly to the Razgodai in the ravines, though they will not admit it, but we are wise to them.
I find it interesting that these red wyverns are able to freely enter the sunken city and then make their way here into the Razgodai.
Is that true?
It appears to be so. And if they are transporting this Gruthal, which is it Gruthal that you seek?
We would like to rid it of the sands.
Should the sunken castle be part of this trade route, I do wonder if perhaps someday, if our paths cross again, perhaps we might be able to ally ourselves in liberating some from the sunken castle.
Perhaps that would be an amazing accomplishment if we were to secure such things, but our focus lies in whatever our arms can obtain. We are a small band, and we are doing what we consider to be the right efforts, and this desert is filled with nothing but pain, anguish, and everyone seeking their own way. And so we have kept to ourselves. So to see somebody such as Miss Biggs come across the sands and wield a sword such as she, if we could see the remaining shield that she speaks of, it may speak to something deeper that we have been missing for some time. Whether it's the items themselves or those that wield it.
Well, Prindas, what if we told you that we know a way into the sunken castle?
I would listen.
The wyvern. That's the solution. They can pass freely between the magical barrier at the very top of the castle. We rode one inside. We've seen inside ourselves. And we've seen the skeleton captain that you referenced earlier.
As you can imagine, it went just about as well as this little debacle you witnessed here.
Except I didn't get stabbed there.
Well,
And I wasn't there.
That is true. Miss Biggs would have turned the tide.
Yeah.
well, it seems you are filled with many secrets that Just like the desert itself, you never know what you're going to find when a wind blows through and a new sun rises and a new adventure calls. What do you propose?
Well, we've been traveling the sands to find more groups like the Steel Lions who we can count on to help us invade the castle, defeat the skeleton captain and the necromancer who lies in the basement.
It would not just be us. We also have the support of the subjugated gnolls who take residence around the castle.
I will consider your words, but like the sands of the desert is ever shifting, so your words are something that you share with us today, but will they remain firm tomorrow? Perhaps you shall share it with the rest of our den at our camp.
Oh.
And he marks your map.
That's 4.
You guys are actually here.
Oh, one below?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for the invitation, Prendas.
I cannot guarantee what the rest of the den will say, but we will speak highly of Miss Biggs and what she has done here today. Perhaps you shall find the other item that you mentioned, and we shall deem it worthy.
I just think we went down first.
Yeah.
Is the only thing at the
You
very
went
beginning.
down first.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's all right. So what do you guys hope to accomplish now? You, on the other hand, unless you're willing to give up that sword now, you seem like you do not want it to weigh your hands down anymore. So your words that you mention seem a little contradictory to perhaps how your heart beats.
No. This is a wonderful sword, and I would gladly wield it nobly, but I would never presume that my hands were worthy. I only strive in order to live up to what this sword represents. I wanted to offer it back to someone who knows where it belongs and how it is to be used. But if you are saying I can keep it, I would use it.
I would be willing to trade it off your hands should you seek a more lucrative aspect, a more lucrative result. Your eyes glint like gold, like the stars in the night, but your heart wavers.
Prendas, you really know how to read somebody.
I have spent a blue flame with the little cub, and that is not one that is treated lightly. It reveals things deeply, and that is why I only invite the ones that I choose worthy.
What type of trade would you be offering? I like to make decisions with as much information as possible.
He brings out a bottle, and it's in the shape of a skull.
Okay.
We have used this to rid as much Gruthel from the lands as we have found. This is a very potent potion that can rid people of their problems. Perhaps it is worthy of that sword, but it is up for you to decide.
That's real
Can I try to, make any type of check to try to see if I can understand, like, what this thing is supposed to do? Because as Togark pointed out, it is a little,
Go ahead, read it to everybody.
an acrid tarny substance in an iron flask with a lead stopper. You can pour the potion on one object or creature filling up to a close area. The target is utterly removed from reality and cannot be returned by anything short of a wish spell. Personality, chaotic. Protests loudly while being used and never agrees that the target is the right choice for extirpation. Potion of extirpation. Oh my gosh.
Would you accept an alliance in exchange for the sword?
I'll be clear, should you give up this sword, this relationship ends here. You can come to our den and maybe consider conversing with the rest of the pack, the tribe. But I have seen something I haven't seen in aeons beyond our group. And this is something that I offer Miss Biggs, who has come out of the black desert sands and wielded such a weapon with such proficiency that I cannot turn my eye away.
Then I apologize, but a relationship with you means more to me than this potion.
Wait. Miss Biggs, do you know what would be really good at killing a necromancer?
I understand.
Okay.
If there is some other way that I might be able to trade you for this potion, then I would love to hear it.
Like the shifting sands, we do not know what the future brings, but I do not discount the fact that there could be a new opportunity that lies ahead. So I do not discount that, but I see that this sword is something that weighs heavily on you, and should you wish to be rid of it, then it is telling of your heart. But you choose to keep it, and that is something I will acknowledge as well.
It is a burden I gratefully carry.
And as he nods, you can see like his little tattoos like kind of glow, like acknowledging your decision, like very much like sealing it like in his memory that like this is the choice that Miss Biggs has decided upon. And he looks around the rest of the camp, and you guys shall spend the rest of our night here in the camp. The storm should pass by the morning. You should be able to travel freely.
Well, good night then. I've had a long night of hanging onto things and climbing things and falling from things. I'm gonna get some rest.
That is not uncommon for the city of Glass, let me tell you. It is a rambunctious place of sorts, so your actions seem very fitting, but of course they have prepared for such folk, and they are quite adept at repelling such efforts. But you all have some very unique skill sets, and that's something our group here keep in mind. Is there anything else you guys want to accomplish?
I mean, I think Elarius is going to settle in for the night with some bad poetry.
We're gonna talk about that.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that bad poetry.
I'm gonna ask Prindas if he has anything to trade besides that potion, which seems like the
Or that
sword was
potion.
the only
Yeah.
thing.
Anything to drink?
Anything to
Oh,
trade.
to trade. We have. Depends on what you're interested in.
Well, I seem to be out of healing potions.
Hmm.
And if you have any magical items, I'm always interested in those as a wizard.
I can consider something, but we are mainly here to search for Grutho. I have a scroll that I'd be willing to sell you
Okay.
for 25 gold.
What does it do?
Any tier 1 spell.
Oh, like my choice?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with this game. Can I
Yeah.
learn spells from scrolls like permanently, or is this a one-time use thing?
You can learn from it.
Does it cost money to learn the spell?
I don't believe so.
But don't you have a spell limit or no?
No, not as a wizard.
Well, how does that work then to learn?
Can I have the deck of cards? Where'd it go? Yeah, I think I give it back to you.
So we can settle that.
So
That's
in the
something you're-
meantime, as they're doing that, actually Hermann is going to sing. I found something interesting in the those other unfortunates. Their caravan. A lock of azure hair. Does this mean anything to you?
He holds it up. Those blood rocks are always seeking different components, as you saw. They are comprised of different types of creatures and ancestries and folk and all sorts of things. I would be very weary of where this thing came from, and I send up a thought to the gods above.
Okay, thank you.
That whatever they got this from, died a peaceful death.
Okay. Good night.
Perhaps you may find its owner if it's something you truly desire.
Okay.
Anything else you guys want to accomplish tonight? Otherwise, we'll transition into experience.
Have you heard of someone named Orwin? There's a locket I also found that belongs to somebody a long time ago. long time ago.
Where would they be found?
I have no idea, but and I found a locket and a note on a dead body, I think in the same castle that I found this sword. And so I wasn't sure if maybe there was any relation.
No one comes to mind. It's a very big desert.
I understand. Long shot.
Anything else, guys? As we start rounding out
I'm gonna
our
spend
adventure here tonight.
almost the last of my gold to buy a scroll of burning hands.
Excellent. Okay, so burning hands. That makes sense for such a handy little man such as yourself.
Well, I was inspired by that massive explosion earlier. I figured I'd learn how to
Exactly.
tame a little bit of that for myself.
Exactly. You are quite the explosive little guy, huh?
I really like the word little.
Yeah, why do you keep referring to my statue?
I know
Because they're
you're
so tall and you're so obviously so little.
It's a very clearly, obviously, plain as day. You're so little.
Hey, Herman.
Yes.
Remember how I saved your life earlier? Want to buy me the scroll?
I'm sleeping. How much money do you need, you pest?
25 gold.
What? Don't you have any of your own?
Not really.
Point of inquiry. Do these steel lions like to party?
Can we carouse with them?
Can we
Yeah.
carouse with them?
You want to do some sandstorm partying? Yeah. Anyways, let's crush some of that blue game. Just
Oh my gosh.
throw it in your face.
Oh, that's where we're going. Never mind.
The blue
Sandstorm
dust.
rave. Well,
Well, yeah.
How much money do we have between us?
I
I've
have-
got 34.
I've got 31.
Well, after I bought the scroll, I have 3.
I have 163.
Is this from the 100 from earlier, or is this what you had? Because we found 100 collectively.
Yeah, I told him that. I don't know if you marked it down.
What was that?
I think
There was 100 gold.
Oh, I did not mark it down. No.
Did you split that with the party or keep it for yourself?
I mean, I will contribute to
carouse.
the carousing fund if that is on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how much is it to carouse? What are the different amounts?
What is carousing?
It's
You're about to find out.
yeah.
I'll tell you what it is. It's
Carouse.
excellent, is what it is.
So we're moving into this part of the session where we're going to start dealing experience points, and we like to cash in on adding to that experience points pools through a carousing event. So you 30 is the base cost, and it can be pooled by everyone. But if you add more to the carousing event, it represents a more rambunctious effort of joy and merrymaking, perhaps as a way of sealing the deal again with these steel lions.
Maybe we're stuck outside the city walls. They won't let us in.
Exactly.
So instead, we just decide to
Go through
have
the
a party.
remnants of their caravan, and they share whatever they want. So we'll roll a d8, and then you get bonus experience according to the results
Oh, cool.
of the carousing outcome. So this
There are
is
certain results you can't get without the bonus.
yeah, because there's the results get higher than an 8. You're rolling a d8, so without the bonus, you can't get this higher stuff. But I don't want to peek at that stuff until we actually roll it. So point is, we go into reflecting on this past fable at this current table, and we look at what we accomplished story-wise, what we'd like to pursue as well. Luck tokens were still aplenty, for better or worse.
So, all right. Starting off, I think Herman did get some good intel and learned some interesting stuff that people are out in the desert looking for something from the castle. And he also hung on for dear life long enough for his friends to get in position. So that's kind of a group effort bonus, in my opinion. And also, got some interesting stuff. Nothing great, but some cool stuff from the exploding caravan.
And the treasure,
we
yeah.
were in by.
We're justifying treasure. Which can mean any number of things. Information, actual physical goods.
Not to mention, he didn't participate in the massacre. He actually was a very stand-up citizen and held his blows. Didn't kill anyone today.
Anyone else?
Togark is filled with pride and joy at the fact that he got to cause a massive lethal explosion today. Not every day that gets to happen. In addition, he's incredibly excited that he saved Hermann's life and now has one over on him.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I feel like Miss Biggs, like, you know, there was this silver sword thing that happened a really long time ago and then immediately got back into, met the lions, which was the motivate, like, they weren't where we thought they were on the map, but we still got to meet them, which was part of the motivation of taking the path they did, and then even got to show off with the sword, and, like, not just with the sword, but then also with their own skills, and, like, the crossbow, and,
Like nat 20 on that sword too.
Yeah.
Like a perfect shining example of how to use this thing. Yeah.
Exactly. And then even afterwards, talking, like, got some interesting information about, like, you know, not just where the camp is, and then there was also the choice of, do I get rid of the sword, trade the sword, or do I keep it? It was like, no, I would like to keep it, maintain this relationship. You know, show you more of whatever it is that you saw.
I felt like that's a moment of Miss Biggs could have made easy money, but chose not to, you know, like as like a growing beyond her initial desires, which I was like interesting. I thought you were gonna take that. It was a pretty big potion.
No, yeah, that's a solid potion.
Yeah, right.
I think that Miss Biggs is thinking, like, I think in this moment, I think you're right. Like, in a lot of moments, Miss Biggs is thinking about, like, the next thing, right? Like, when it comes to, you know, even something like carousing, like, how can we go big tonight, right? But I think that there was a moment of, like, do I want to take the thing that's going to be really powerful and really big in exactly one moment, or do I want to take the thing that I'll be able to use over and over again?
Right, in the relationship with this
Yeah.
people. Yeah, and you guys are still exploring this desert as well too, and it's, you know, for the sake of Arventa and for the sake of everything. So you think, you guys gotta think long term, which maybe is new for Miss Biggs. Who knows?
Yeah. What's funny is even at the top of the session, I was really about to, like, she was about to ask, like, does anybody use a longsword? Because I have this longsword that I wasn't really gonna.
Neat.
And then we just kind of moved on, and I was like, oh yeah. And then came a moment to actually use it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Neat. Anything?
Elarius would like to offer a recitation.
Of?
That poetry.
Okay.
There once was a knight named Sir Seamus. All through the land he was famous. He had a big sword on which he was gored down through his throat to his anus.
Oh, that was good. That was good. The Ballad of Sir Seamus.
All right, that's worth 5 XP.
Yeah, that alone is right there. That's a treasure. What a rare treasure. Yes, you guys will all get 5 XP for that so far, which is great. I think that's a solid, robust
Hold on.
sesh. But you guys want to carouse as well too.
Yes.
How much money you guys throwing in?
I would like to go for the 100 gold pieces.
Yeah. So
I mean, I can throw in 100.
okay, 100 that was found in the pile.
I mean,
100 worth.
our threshold is, what, 300? So is there a way we can get to 300 collectively?
No.
No.
We can.
Maybe if we sell some of the stuff.
Like, we physically can. It would just be throwing everything at it.
I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have like boots. I'm not gonna sell the boots. Those are helpful.
Well, so sorry, remind me of how much you have?
I have 34. I mean, I have a shit ton back at Arventa, but we're not there. So
Well, yeah, but I'm saying if you have 34, I have this crown, which is another 25, and then I also have the gold that I just have.
I mean, I've
For
got
300? Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I've got 131 total.
Yeah.
So we can make 300, but it is really draining.
Yeah,
us.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Or we
I
could
just don't
just
think it's worth it.
each toss in 50 and
Yeah.
get to the 100.
I mean, it's really not like at these levels. I don't think it's like super effective. Like if we had the 600, we could potentially get 11. You know what I mean? But it's kind of a gamble. Like when you're the difference between the +1 and +2, I don't think is going to be making or breaking it.
Yeah.
Whereas with,
That's,
like,
that was
stuff
my
like-
first instinct was just doing the 100.
Yeah.
I was saying, but we physically can make it to 300 if we wanted to.
I
Sure.
think it's a lot.
I'm voting no. I think 100 is.
All right, I'm tossing in 50.
I get no say. I have no money.
But you get a
What
free
do you guys
party.
think is
Yeah.
Okay, so well, I'll do 25.
All right, and then I can throw in another 25.
Okay.
The crown. You giving up the crown?
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, it's engraved. Does this feel magical or relevant at all, or is it just?
It's not magical, but relevance is what you make of it.
I'll toss in the crown. I don't know.
got-
Because we already did a bull labyrinth thing.
Heavy.
Well, actually, does this labyrinth look anything like or remind me of the Onyx Ballroom out? Like, does it feel?
Yeah, it does.
Is that the same gold crown that Hermann already has in the vault? It doesn't have a labyrinth.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
All right,
Definitely
then I'll
doesn't.
throw in 25 of my own.
You're keeping the crown?
Yeah, I'll keep the crown. Then.
Hell yeah. Crowns are sick.
And he put it on your head after you were just like slow walk away from an explosion.
All right, let's do this.
All right.
All right, so we're all gonna get a +1 to our carousing roll.
And that's what, D8?
It's gonna be a D8 +1.
Ooh, not bad. Okay.
We'll start with the lowest.
I got a 4.
I got a 5 total.
So 4 total.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Biggs, you hazily remember donating 10% of your total wealth to a glib priest.
Not the glib breeze.
Not the glib priest.
We've
Yeah,
done
we're-
this one so many times.
yeah. So you
always the
gain
glib
3
priest.
more XP on top of that,
Okay.
and a priest ally. This is why I'm
So-
slowly working on my own table.
We already have, I want to say we do already have Van Wyn the priest helping
Okay.
us. So maybe this could just add on to Van Wyn's, like, assistance whenever he shows up.
Okay. Yeah. You guys keep track of that too.
All right, so
Okay.
I'm just going to say X2 to the Van Wyn assistance. Okay.
5.
5 and 5?
Well, 6.
Oh, you had 6. All right,
Yeah.
so 5.
You're fined 10% of your total wealth for
Okay.
starting a full tavern brawl.
Out here in the desert, I guess I just
Brawling with the
Yes.
lions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it said in the carousing that the 100 gold was a full day and night.
Right.
So
yeah.
I think we partied during the night, and then maybe the gates opened, and we just brought the party
For
into
one
the city
hour. They're like,
for the
get out.
day. Yeah. Just showed up at all the taverns, like at open, already drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
like
well,
this
I've
is stuff
now
to
been barred
explore.
from the tavern.
Yeah, the Taptooth will get a spotlight whenever we
Right.
start there. But now that you guys have sort of touched it, it's a part of your map and experience, so we can choose to have a Taptooth adventure. 6 for Elarius.
Yep.
The thieves.
I also got 6.
You both have the Thieves Guild bilks you both for 5% of your wealth. Gain 4 XP.
I have no wealth.
Well, it takes into account your gear.
What?
Yeah, like your total goods.
How do I give up 5% of gear?
Just make a rough estimation of its total wealth.
Oh, I guess I have no money then.
Yeah, and so there you go.
You have all those copper pieces.
All those coppers are gone.
All right.
So you guys, spent time with the Steel Lions and have forged this initial reaction and alliance with them. They seem to be at odds with the Red Rocks, which were, as you have come across them, some weird assembly of different creatures and monsters and ancestries all stitched and sewn together. And you've only heard about their rambunctiousness and fighting pits and all sorts of stuff in the mountains to the north. So who knows what's up with the Red Rocks. Loosely, you did remember hearing that they were once an ally of the gnolls around the sunken castle. So who knows if now you're on the other side of that potential alliance with your Steel Lion alliance. You spent time in Taptooth experiencing this glass city and sort of like the inhabitants that partake in this city out in the desert. And that's something that will definitely be explored more in depth before getting into the fine details of it. But this is a city out in the Balsal deserts, and you know it's a place, it's a hub of sorts. And that is, wow, unlike anything you've ever seen. So who knows if this is a central spot that may see your presence more often, and from that we can go off into other aspects of the desert and explore. But that's a fable for another table. Thanks for watching this chapter of our ongoing fable. Drop a like if you enjoyed the episode, and let us know in the comments which stories interest you most. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And to stay connected, there are links to our Discord and socials in the description. we want to invite you to the next episode of Tables and Fables, and we'll be sure to save you a seat.